All right. Hey, Rio here. In week 6, I am on campus today. So this is the ending of week 5. So it's the items I just graded last night for the first items, your classwork, and the Code Academy for the HTML tables. So I graded that this morning. I had meetings on campus, so I thought, why not just actually do the weekly attendance video from here? And it seemed like based on what I look at, so just to let you know my process, once I grade the items due, then I actually look at us from a class perspective and I see how overall we're doing. And we're doing a really good job. More of you, way more of you are passing than not, which is awesome. So, keep on top of making sure if you're getting behind, you're getting caught up, you understand how to do that, you're reaching out for help. But chat has been really awesome. So Adrian's kicking it in there and some other folks too. So thank you for your pitching in there. Jason's running ETC sessions, so awesome on that. And then of course people are reaching out to me individually. I'll do, I do my best to help, but it always helps if those questions are kind of geared towards most students, because then everyone benefits from the conversation. So there's just multiple ways to get help. And of course there's just the general tutoring system here on campus. So whatever it looks like, getting help is important. Okay, so last time I asked you all, did you receive the MS Imagine email? And I clarified a little bit, but I'm going to do a little more today about why you might need it. And it's really most students who aren't needing it are actually Mac students who are going to install Windows, so that when we get to our third lab test, and by the way, our first lab test, which is Microsoft Word, is actually due in this week. So it's this is why I'm talking about it during these last couple of attendance posts. So I'm still working with the internal folks because I don't control the MS Imagine program. Our internal folks do. About 30% of you, based on the responses, got the email. That means 70% of you didn't. But I tried to clarify why you may not need it. But if you do, I definitely still want to hear from you about that. So if you know for a fact, based on what we're talking about last time and this, if you know for a fact that you are one of those students that's going to need the MS Imagine program for software that is out there, specifically like Windows, because you're going to install it, maybe you're resetting up your system and you need to install that fresh, definitely let me know on this post if that is your situation. Just to be clear about that. And I'm going to actually show you. So I'm actually going to turn to the screen now and show you, because I think this maybe help again you understand what I mean when I say not everyone will need the MS Imagine program. So let's move over and I'll do that. So in our course here in week 6, we do have, in addition to the new item, the lab test, we do have new content for Code Academy. So we're moving from the HTML to the CSS part of this course, and typically students enjoy the CSS as well, because it really is a way we make pages look nice, right? So the HTML is under the cover, it's the structure of the page, the CSS is the face, the what we really see when we look at something, and it's styled well. Okay, so classwork this week, do pay attention to my write-up at the beginning because it is important. This is a previous lecture, and I do a bullet point at the beginning the things that you need to make sure you've included in your classwork, because in here I go over quite a few topics and I don't think I'm as clear as I needed to be about what the deliverables on your classwork were. So that's why I did that. So I'm here to really talk about the lab test. So clicking into the lab test, do know, and I've talked about this, but it's always good to say, is there actually is a video to help you walk through this lab test, which should make everyone's life much more straightforward here. But just like all your other My IT Lab work, you're doing the work over in My IT Lab, and then you're reporting back here your score. Okay, so it's the same reporting process. It's just that it's a new content item in our course. So in this case, it's a lab test where you actually, and again, this week in week 5, I showed you how to, or I gave you a video for taking notes on how these things work. Downloading content out of my IT lab, working on the actual Word program, and uploading it for grading. But do know that once you upload it, it actually shows you what you got wrong, and you can retake that. And really, it's retaking, it's not the best word, but you can update your file and re-upload it into my IT lab. So just know that that's true. I put in here 3 times, but I think actually it might be more than that. Somebody pointed out to me that in the regular my IT lab that on the exams there is unlimited attempts, and I'm just going to leave it because I'm okay with that. Right? If you really want to take it that many times, you're really going to learn it. But the most important thing to know about this is that you're actually going to need Microsoft Word, and this returns us to the concept of the MS Imagine program. So I've been saying this before, but now I actually want to show you because most of you will just need to get Microsoft Word. And when you're logged into your campus email, right, so this is me logged into my account. By the way, this is not an account I use for students, so don't try to send me email here if you could try to figure out what it was anyway from this screen. But I'm really here to show you how to go to the place in Microsoft where you can download Office. I looked around for a link here. When you click on these other links, it takes you to the online version, I think, of these things. And really what we're talking about is downloading it into your computer. So once you're logged in to your campus email, just go to a new tab. Kind of like we do a Drive in a way, depending on how you get there. And then you just type office.com and it'll ask you to log in. And what's cool is it can detect that you're already authenticated into the system, and it'll bring you into this. And this is actually where you download this program, okay? So you can install these programs onto your local computer. So just to be clear, because I'm on my Mac, I only see the ones that are compatible with my Mac, which is why Mac students are needing to install Windows, because when you're here, and I suggest you go, even if you already have it, you can install any of the icons that are presenting because they're compatible with your system. But what we will need is Word for this lab test. We will do 4 more chapters of my IT lab, and then we will do Excel. We will do, then we will finish 4 of those and have a lab test, and then we will do Microsoft Access, which is not listed for me because I do not have, I am on my Mac. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies where to get it, why we need it. And again, this is the first time in this semester you're actually going to need to have something Word either. And by the way, the alternative, and let me just bring you back here, the alternative for this is actually just to go somewhere like on campus, right? There's labs on campus. You can come into any of my labs. I am in class on Tuesday, Thursday from 11 until 12:50. Jason also in his sessions, he's got a lab in there, so you can come in and talk to him if you want, or just find a lab space to work in there so you can look at when his sessions are. I'm also here from 5 to 6 before my night class on Wednesday. So there's many ways that if you don't have it installed, or if you're having challenges there, you can come on campus to do it. So one way or the other, get this one done, because this one is the biggest impact on your grades so far. This is 5%. So we have 3 lab tests. This is our first one. It's worth 5% of your grade. It is still available for late grade, but don't do that if you don't have to, right? Get the most out of this one and get it done on time if it allows. But the more important thing is, like we've talked about before, if you get behind, just get caught up, because the sooner the better. Okay, have a great weekend. It's going to be beautiful. It seems like warm weather has gotten here a little sooner than some of us anticipated, specifically the folks that normally ski this time of year. Not much snow around, which is not necessarily a great thing from a long-term water perspective use, but I won't go there. Have a wonderful one. See you later. Bye.